of how Rome is doing.
Fantastic. Well, at CES back in January, Lisa showed the world the first performance demo on Rome with a single Rome processor outperforming what was, at that time, a dual-socket, top-of-stack best system from our competitor. And that was great. But today, I'm going to be showing you that same simulation on 2 Rome processors outperforming the top-of-line Cascade Lake 8280 processor, dual socket from Intel, just announced a month ago. And Rome, in a dual socket to dual socket comparison, over twice as fast on molecular dynamics simulations.
Forrest, do you want to talk about what those nanoseconds were down there?
The nanoseconds where we are simulating a protein that's part of HDL floating around in the bloodstream, and it's critically important to understand how it interacts with other chemicals in your body. And that simulation was simulation of nanoseconds of that progression of the molecule, 92,000 atoms. And it's such an incredibly complicated thing that even the speed of EPIC can only simulate about 20 nanoseconds a day, but that's twice as much as on Cascade Lake. So twice the performance on Rome than our previous generation, twice the performance of the 8280M, which is a $10,000 processor. And we have twice as many platforms in development that'll be ready so that customers, most importantly, can get the power of Rome into their hands, into their labs, into their businesses as soon as possible.
And Forrest, when are we launching this product?
We're launching this product next quarter. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Forrest. And I hope you guys got just a preview of how excited we are with Rome. Rome is going to be incredible, and it's going to revolutionize the data center. So with that, now let's move into the realm of graphics and gaming. How many of you love Radeon? We love Radeon. And what we say is Radeon is really everywhere. So if you think about it, today, there are over 400 million gamers that game on Radeon. Over 400 million. And when you look across the PC form factor, notebooks, Apple iMac, MacBook Pro products, when you look across the game consoles with Sony and Microsoft, and most recently, you saw Google announce that they're starting their cloud gaming technologies using AMD, you really get the sense that Radeon is everywhere. And one of the things I say, and I say very, very often, is AMD just loves gamers. Do you agree? You know, 2019 has already been a very, very important year for Radeon. We started the year at CES launching the second generation Vega product in gaming called Radeon 7. This was the world's first 7-nanometer GPU, and it has incredible performance across gaming as well as compute workloads. And when you look at what we're doing in the data center with Radeon Instinct MI60 and MI50, we have a number of design wins and engagements that are looking at bringing Vega into all aspects of the data center. And what we see is tremendous momentum. So you're going to continue to see Vega, and you're going to continue to see Vega in these large, compute-intensive workstation workloads, and you'll hear a lot more about that over the next weeks and months. But I started with the idea of gamers are special. We believe there are over 2 billion gamers in the world, and that's including PCs, consoles, cloud, mobile, and gamers are incredibly demanding. Gaming is a very, very social sport, so you want to be able to share it with your friends. You want incredible control and responsiveness. You want performance in every form factor, and you want to be able to play your favorite games anywhere, anytime, any place with the same ecosystem. To do that, you really need to build a GPU architecture that goes across PCs, consoles, and the cloud. And that's exactly what we set out to do. So, Navi is our new family of Radeon GPUs, and it is really built to power the future of gaming. And when you think about Navi, think about it's really the start of an incredible future in gaming going forward. So, let me tell you a little bit about Navi. Not many people know much about Navi. When you look at Navi, we believe that it can power a tremendous number of applications. Just last month, Sony announced the first application of Navi. They announced that their next generation PlayStation is going to be powered by AMD with our semi-custom portfolio using Navi as well as our Zen 2 products. And I can't tell you how excited we are to do that. When you think about the vision of Mark Cerny at Sony, he's really looking at revolutionizing the console era for the next decade. And we are very, very honored to be partnering with Sony in that area. Now, when I talk about Navi, I also talk about Navi as it relates to our PC products. And I want to tell you a little bit about what makes Navi so special. There are really a couple of things. First, Navi has an all-new 7-nanometer RDNA architecture, Radeon DNA. This is different from GCN, and I'm going to talk more about why it's different and what it does for us. Navi is also focused on gaming. Like I said, responsiveness, performance, and so faster clock speeds, higher gaming performance, lower power. And Navi is also the world's first gaming GPU that has PCI Express Gen 4 enabled. So let me tell you a little bit about RDNA. And again, we call this Radeon DNA, so the R has a red Radeon here. The way to think about it is AMD has had a long history of architectures in the GPU space. We love GCN. GCN has been a great architecture for us. And frankly, you're going to continue to see GCN as we go with new versions of Vega and many of the high compute workload applications. But you guys know how we thought about Zen in CPUs. When we designed Zen in CPUs, we decided it was time for from-scratch design, because we believed that you needed a new design for the future. And that's exactly what RDNA is. RDNA is a gaming engine, the architecture that will power the foundation of gaming for the next decade. So we're extremely excited about RDNA. Now, we have so much to talk about as it relates to RDNA. My friend David Wang is sitting right here in the front row. You can ask him all the questions. But let me give you a preview of what makes RDNA so special. RDNA is significant new capabilities. It's a brand new compute unit design. And the idea here is to optimize that compute unit for the future of gaming. And it's really focused on efficiency and increasing the number of instructions we could do per clock. We also have an all-new cache hierarchy. And that's all about making gaming more responsive, reducing the latency, getting higher bandwidth, getting lower power, doing more. And the third point is we streamlined the graphics engine. And this is really bringing the architecture together and optimizing for performance per clock, as well as higher clock speed. So when you put all that together, let me just give you a couple of numbers so you get an idea of how special RDNA is. When you look at the architectural improvements of RDNA in our first generation compared to our Vega gaming generation, what we see is 1.25x performance per clock. So the way to think about this is that's architectural efficiency. Every clock cycle, you get more performance because of those compute engines and how we've optimized the pipeline. And then when you put that together, both the architecture, the design capability, as well as the process technology, we're seeing 1.5x or higher performance per watt capability on the new Navi products as a result of RDNA. So now that you know about our new architecture, it's time to meet the Navi products. So today, for the first time at Computex, I want to introduce the Radeon RX 5000 family. And the RX 5000 family actually is named in honor of AMD's 50th birthday. So 50 is the year that we start the new architecture, RDNA. So let me introduce you to the first Navi GPU. Thank you, Scott. Seven-nanometer architecture, RDNA, RX 5000. And some of you may say, this chip actually looks pretty small. We like it small. It's small, but it has incredible performance in it. So you're going to see a lot of these Navi GPUs very, very soon. Now, with that, we also want to show you Navi in action. So Scott, come on back out here.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Scott. So Scott runs our Radeon gaming business unit, and I think Scott has the most fun job in the company.
There's no doubt about it, I have the most fun job in the company. My kids always think that I just go to work and game, so I appreciate
He actually does just go to work and game. All right, Scott, what are we going to show our fans here?
Yeah, hey, look, I'm super excited to show the world today Navi running for the very first time a real live gaming demo and benchmark. And on behalf of all the AMD engineers that have worked on the Navi product family, we are super excited to get this in the hands of gamers very, very soon. So behind me, you'll see that Chris over there has already started the benchmark running. This is Strange Brigade. It's running on 2 GPUs. On your left is the RTX 2070. And on the right on the screen is our brand new Radeon RX 5700 series GPUs. Strange Brigade is a co-op third-person shooter game. It's designed to play with your friends. You can fight minotaurs, fight some scorpions, also solve puzzles and blow stuff up, which is my favorite part. I love blowing stuff up. And then you can see as the benchmark comes to a close here, you'll see the scores right behind me shortly. This is what I'm extremely proud of our engineering team. You'll see that on average, the RX 5700 GPU beats our competition by roughly 10% performance in this very early edition of the game demo. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you.
Scott has too much fun playing games all the time, but Scott, our fans want to know, this is a Navi preview. This is a Navi preview. So our fans want to know, when can they get their hands on Navi?
Well, it's going to be very soon. So we will be launching everywhere in the world at retail and e-tail, available in July. And so I'm very excited for that. So maybe I'll also tell everybody, if you want to learn more about Navi, for all the gamers on the stream and here in the audience, you can come and either watch it on stream live, or if you're at the E3 trade show on June 10th, 3 p.m. Pacific, we will be talking about all the good details, including price points, performance, products, plural, and also all the new features inside of RDNA, all the technical features that we're putting into games, and excited to announce today some exclusive game content from our game partners up on stage with us, Lisa, to celebrate our Navi launch, and it's going to be a really fun time come June 10th.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Scott. See you at E3.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
So that's just a little bit of a preview of what you will have in store for you for Navi and our RDNA architecture. Now let's turn our attention to the PC market. So how many of you love PCs? You know, PCs are an incredible form factor, if you really think about it. And AMD loves PCs. So if you look today, there are over 1.5 billion PC users. And if you look at what people do with PCs, they basically do everything, whether it's productivity, gaming, entertainment, content creation. The PC form factor has lasted a long time because of all of its capability. And for many of us who are in the ecosystem, we actually believe that there are hundreds of millions of PCs that can be upgraded to be made smarter, more capable, more efficient, and more intuitive. And so over the past few years, AMD has actually invested heavily in the PC market because we believed that, frankly, there was more innovation to be had in PCs. And when you look at the PC market, it actually has some very, very interesting users. You have consumers who want thin, light, productive, good price point, those types of machines. You have enthusiasts, some of our favorites. These are the guys who want the best motherboard, the best CPU, the best GPU, always tweaking it, always overclocking it, always making it a little bit better, always pushing the technology. And then you have this whole class of creators who actually, the PC is their tool to let imaginations come alive. And if you look across all of these users, you actually need different technology to make all of them productive and capable in PCs. Now, what does that mean to AMD? That actually means the PC market, more than almost any other market, requires a tremendous ecosystem. And that ecosystem requires our partners to work extremely closely together to bring that to the market. So I can think of no better way to talk about the PC market than really recognizing Microsoft as the most important partner for not just AMD, but for all of us in the PC ecosystem. And their vision, together with our collective efforts, really drives tremendous innovation. So with that, let me welcome my first guest, Roanne Sones, to the stage. Roanne. How are you?
Lovely. Thank you for having me.
Roanne, thank you so much for being here with us at Computex.
Congratulations. First inaugural AMD Keynote at Computex. It's a big moment.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, look, I said it before, but I'll say it again. Microsoft is the heart of the PC ecosystem. Can you tell us a little bit about Microsoft's vision around PCs?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Windows is integrated into the service fabric of our lives, you know, from home to schools to work. You know, it's integrated into mission-critical systems, from healthcare to finance to governments, the world. You know, and so if I take a look back at our responsibility, we have to keep it safe and secure, but it also provides a huge opportunity for growth. I have to say thank you to you, as well as the collective ecosystem. We now have 800 million Windows 10 monthly active devices.
That's very impressive.
We have line of sight to 1 billion monthly active devices around the corner. It's just tremendous, tremendous growth. Now, you mentioned this inflection point that's coming to the market. We could not agree more. And it's going to be powered by silicon and the need for compute, whether that is CPU, GPU, even custom silicon. It will create a wave of new experiences that are cloud connected, that are AI powered, and that are multi-sense.
We completely agree, Roanne. I mean, it's an incredible vision. And AMD and Microsoft have been partners for a long time, but our relationship has changed. Can you talk a little bit about our relationship and what we're doing together?
Absolutely. So for me, I think back to 2 years ago. We were getting started back in Redmond between AMD and Microsoft and planning the next generation Ryzen family together.
Yes.
And I think that we have completely moved the needle in how we approach co-development together. And you're going to see that in what comes to market from both a device level, a driver level, and even the customer experiences that are going to be delivered. From a device level, you are going to see Ryzen integrated into all price points, including premium designs. You are going to see it from all of the top OEMs here in this room with us today. And you're getting into the guts, actual component level choices. Getting into solid state drives, getting into influencing designs over better displays that are lower power, and that's so critical to the custom experience that customers are going to have. If I look at drivers, AMD was actually first to delivering modern drivers for Windows 10. It eliminates churn. It enables customers to have a more seamless update experience, and it's lower cost for the ecosystem to actually design and build for.
We absolutely love partnering with Microsoft and our OEMs, and we're just so honored. When you look at what you're doing with the modern device collection and what we're doing together, there's just a tremendous number of form factors that are coming out to market.
And it's great. Customers are voting with their feet on this one. If you look at modern devices, we see an 18% increase in customer satisfaction. We see a 12% increase in the average sales price, 6-month faster refresh. And the thing I'm probably most excited about is the Ryzen family is actually going to be 50% modern devices this year. So it's just tremendous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Roanne, our audience is always wondering what's next.
Yes.
Are you going to tell them?
I know. Oh, if only I could. If only I could. Lisa and I have some inside scoop on the depth of partnership between AMD and Microsoft, not just in the PC space, but also as we look to the data center and the cloud and to graphics and gaming. I am really excited about what we are doing there. I think it is going to be next level in terms of what you can expect from us. I want to thank you for your commitment. We have a deeper level of resourcing for co-engineering here in Taipei as well as back in Redmond. And I think it's a sign of AMD's commitment to growth and to leading in the category.
Fantastic. Roanne, thank you so much. Thank you for your partnership.
You bet.
And thank you for
Lisa.
being here today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
We love the partnership with Microsoft, and one of the things I say is partnerships only get deeper with time, and that is really an example of one of the partnerships that has just gotten tremendously deeper with time. So, what Roanne was talking about, those modern devices are actually powered by our second generation Ryzen mobile device. We introduced this device at CES earlier this year, and if you walk the Computex show floor, and if you look at the various OEM systems, you're going to see a large number of devices that have our second generation Ryzen mobile that has tremendous, tremendous performance, as well as longer battery life. And when you look from Acer and Asus to Dell, HP, Lenovo, there are just a tremendous number of new form factors with AMD. And we appreciate that partnership. We appreciate that's difficult. We appreciate a lot of that is done here in Taiwan with our ODM and our OEM partners. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to have you hear from some of our OEM partners. So let me start first with ASUS, which has a tremendously broad portfolio across desktop, notebook systems, motherboard components, and add-in boards. And with that, let me bring Joe Shea to the stage. Joe? Hi, Joe.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks to your kind introductions. And I'm so excited to be here today.
Thank you so much for being here, Joe.
And first, personally, I'd like to welcome Lisa to Taipei. You know, Lisa is one of the most knowledgeable and respectable scientist CEO. Okay, I know in this
Scientist.
Yeah. And second, I'd like to congratulate to AMD for your 5th years anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
congratulations to the success of your new product launch.
Thank you. Thank you.
ASUS and AMD all has the strong passion for innovations. ASUS has more than 5,000 engineers to design the products. We are so proud to be the company that can provide a complete gaming ecosystem powered by AMD, starting with the ROG motherboard, the ROG graphic cards, the FreeSync monitors, the gaming laptop, and the gaming desktop. ROG always create high performance inside and exciting user experience outside. In April, we have launched the latest Ryzen CPU to our ultra slim gaming notebook.
Yes.
And today, we are going to introduce a new gaming desktop, the ROG Strix GL10 series,
Woo!
also powered by AMD CPU. Do you want to talk about the CPU?
We are very excited because it will be one of the first systems with 3rd generation AMD Ryzen CPUs. So thank you, Joe.
Thank you, AMD. And what's more, designing motherboard for high-performance CPU present many engineering challenges. And we are confident ASUS could be the one, maybe the only one, overcome the challenges.
There may be a few others here.
Because it's very difficult to design.
Just a few.
It's kidding, all right? So today, we are going to launch the latest ASUS X570 series motherboard. Apart from the standard design, we include special tuning for memories, a dedicated part for high Qualcomm CPUs. And guess what? We have 30 designs for customers. Again, thanks AMD for being such a close partner for us. Last but not least, this year is also ASUS 30 years anniversary. So let's celebrate together.
Thank you, Joe. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the partnership with ASUS. And you can tell there's a tremendous amount of excitement around what they're going to bring to the market. Now, let me introduce another very special partner to AMD, our friends at Acer, who also have an incredibly broad portfolio in the PC category across notebooks, desktops, displays, and much, much more. So with that, let me welcome my friend Jerry Gao to the stage. Hi, Jerry.
Lisa.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for having me here. Yeah. First, also follow my friends. I also want to welcome Lisa to be here.
Thank you.
Be honest, she's not just a scientist, but a very successful entrepreneur, which very few CEO can make a turnover company successful like you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe share a little story. Be honest, 2 months ago, I had a dinner with my friend investor bank, and he specifically mentioned you because he said that Because your stock price, he earned a lot of money.
This is a technical presentation, not a...
Okay, but allow me to write one sentence again. Because he's using a description for AMD, which I think it's really a shock for me that people use that description. AMD means astonishing miracle delivered. Lisa, this is your miracle delivered.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I also want to thank you, Lisa, because Lisa mentioned that AMD love gamers. So on behalf of our Acer gaming desktop notebook to the customers, I want to say gamers also love AMD. So this is something because of you, we can deliver this monster. This is a Predator Helios notebook. I need to say that this is actually serious. That means not just the AMD CPU and GPU inside, but also has competitors, different combinations. However, a very famous YouTuber, Dave2D, I think many of you is familiar with him. He is actually 3 million followers and very professional in terms of notebook media review. So he used the word absolutely beast for AMD solution. This is something I think I did not see anywhere in the world.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is still the previous generation. And yesterday, we just announced our new second generation Ryzen mobile, a Nitro 5 notebook. So I would like to invite you and everybody to see a video.
All right. That looks great, Jerry. Thank you so much.
Exciting, right?
Very exciting, very exciting.
Yeah. You know why I stopped this page?
Tell me why you stopped on this page.
Okay, because normally here means who sponsor. But I want to mention two keywords here. There are 2 lines here. For almost every competitor, there's just one line.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Lisa, maybe you don't know, but people here and also all the OEM partners understand one very good thing, which is a strong advantage, is that you have both CPU and GPU.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We agree.
You know your competitors? Your famous GPU competitors don't have CPU. Your famous CPU competitors don't have GPU. And actually, they tried, but they all failed. So I really want to represent Acer's sincere thanks to AMD because you have both solutions. Actually, the synergy, 1 + 1 is larger than 2.
Thank you.
Not just for designers like Acer, but for all the people using AMD's structure. They really enjoy it. This is something I want to say thank you to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And other than gaming, sorry, I'll new transition. Gaming is something I have already emphasized. We have a Predator, we have a Nitro. Predator is our hardcore gaming. Nitro is our main casual gaming. And with AMD's help, we both have a notebook and desktop form factor within the Predator Nitro family. In addition to that, we also have the display. Acer, the first one to provide a FreeSync to the world. And by far, we are still have the widest product portfolio for the FreeSync in the world. So all this, thanks to AMD.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
AMD love gamers, but AMD not just love gamers, because there are other people in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have a more product line actually equipped with the AMD technology, like our education, that's the TravelMate series and Veritan series, our Chromebook, and also our Thin and Light series, and our famous Aspire, which actually we are shipped 10 million every year. And AMD represents a significant in that portion. Also want to thank Lisa.
Thank you.
Yeah. And in Acer, we always talking about the last presentation of the statement we put in our last folio is, what do you know? The best?
The best is yet to come.
Yeah, the best is yet to come. And taking the opportunity, I'm going to introduce everybody that we will be very soon. We'll follow Lisa's sister's instruction about when we're going to launch.
It's a secret.
I know, so
For the next 30 minutes, it's a secret.
Okay, next 30 minutes. Okay, we're gonna have our desktop Predator and Nitro equipped with the 3rd generation Ryzen desktop processor and also the Navi. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first AMD plus AMD, 7 nanometer plus 7 nanometer. And, can I say my teeth? 3rd generation desktop processor plus Navi. And most important, it is A plus A. The second A means Acer.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for your partnership.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Look, it's wonderful to hear from our partners. They are truly, truly special. But it's time to get back to our products. And so I'm extremely, extremely excited for this next part of our presentation. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Are you really ready? Yeah. I am so excited today to talk to you about our 3rd generation of our AMD Ryzen. It is truly an incredible product for us. And you know, as much as we loved the 1st generation of Ryzen, we absolutely love 1st gen Ryzen. Did you guys love 1st gen Ryzen? And by the way, we loved 2nd gen Ryzen too. But frankly, our company is an engineering company, and we were not satisfied. Our engineering team wanted to do more. We wanted to push the envelope further. We had so much ambition for the desktop and what you can do on the desktop. So today, we are ready to share with you the 3rd generation Ryzen processor family. So let me start with a little bit about what you know. You know 3rd generation Ryzen is based on 7 nanometer Zen 2 cores. This is part of our Zen processor family, and it's the 3rd incarnation of our Zen processor family. You also know that it's an AM4 socket, and that's important because we wanted our enthusiast fans to have the continuity of AM4. And it's also the world's first PCIe Gen 4 platform, and you're going to see that in action today as well. So now let me tell you some things you may not know. Let's start first with the core. The core truly is the engine of our 3rd gen Ryzen. And Zen 2 is an incredible core. When you take a look at some of the features, we doubled the floating point. And why is that important? Doubling the floating point in PC applications means you have faster performance in creative workloads for all of those content creators who want to do more. We also doubled the cache size. Why did we double the cache size? Because access to memory is so important. And we believed that if you reduce the memory latencies, you get much, much better performance, particularly in games and how gaming performance works. And then the most important piece of Zen 2 is the IPC, or the instructions per clock. IPC, you work incredibly hard for every single percentage of performance. And when we started Zen 2, our engineers told me, Lisa, I think we might get 8 to 10% IPC. Zen was a great core. Zen is a great core. We think 8 to 10% is reasonable. But my engineers are amazing, and they always surprise me and us. And so today, I'm happy to share with you that Zen 2 in the PC workloads actually achieves 15% IPC uplift. 15%, every percent counts. And the reason it counts is because IPC lifts all boats. All applications improve with IPC, whether you're talking about gaming or heavily threaded applications and so on and so forth. So we're really, really happy with how Zen 2 has come about. But I'm sure you guys want to know what the product can do. Is that right? Yeah. All right, so let's start with the very first third-gen Ryzen product. It's the Ryzen 7 3700X. The 3700X is the world's first 7-nanometer desktop CPU. It has 8 cores, 16 threads, 4.4 gigahertz boost frequency, 36 megabytes of total cache, and all in an amazing 65 watts of TDP. $65 watts for 8 cores and 16 threads. That's the power of 7-nanometer technology. If you take a look at some of the performance characteristics, look, the 2nd-gen Ryzen is a great set of products, but what we're seeing with the 3700X is significant double-digit performance in both single-threaded and multi-threaded workloads at that significantly lower power. So more performance, lower power, 3rd-gen capability. But with that, you probably want to see the 3rd-gen in action. So Robert, come on out and help me demonstrate 3700X.
I can do that. Hey.
All right, Robert, what are we going to show?
So we've got Cinebench R20 running, and I was thinking back to my time as a reviewer looking at AMD's K7 and K8 architectures, long time ago. And we've used Cinebench for over 15 years to reliably and quickly test the performance of a processor. And now we're on Cinebench R20, which came out just last month. And what you'll see on your right is the Ryzen 7 3700X versus, on the left, the Core i7 9700K. And as we churn through this realistic, ray-traced scene, you may notice that the Ryzen 7 3700X is quite a bit faster. In fact, it's about 1/3 faster than the competing part. And that's really a testament to the compute performance of Zen 2 and the density that the 7-nanometer Zen 2 architecture brings to a chip.
Fantastic.
And it's just a monster performance. And I think if content creators really, really want something special, that's just 65 watts. This is a beautiful, beautiful part. And our competitor is still going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just let that tick through.
Are we done?
Almost there.
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
It takes a little while.
All right, there we are. All right.
Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So look, you get an idea of how much capability you have. Again, against our competitor, what we see is single-threaded performance about equal, and 28% more multi-threaded performance, all at 65 watts with lower power. So we love 3700X, but you know we love processors in general. So let me introduce you to the next member of the Ryzen 7 family, the Ryzen 7 3800X. The 3800X is now the 8-core device for the enthusiast gamer. The boost clock goes up to 4.5 gigahertz. 36 megabytes of total cache, and you see this is now at 105 watts. And when we think about the 3800X, we really think about it as the 8-core performance leader. So take a look at the improvements. Ryzen was always an incredible processor, but when you look at the gaming improvements that we've been able to get with 3rd-gen Ryzen, you can just look generationally. These are some of the most popular esports titles, things like League of Legends, Dota, PUBG, and you can see tremendous double-digit performance improvement, because we really believe gaming performance is critical, and we designed the 3800X for gaming performance. So with that, let me invite Robert out again to show you what 3800X does.
Okay, so this time we have the Core i9 9900K on the left versus our beautiful Ryzen 7 3800X. Both of them 8 cores, 16 threads. And the great thing about it is this beautiful PUBG demo that we built and recorded to reliably test the performance of this game. This is a tough game to benchmark, but we've done it. And what you'll see is that both processors are about the same. And in fact, that's ideal. I know as a gamer that I want a processor that gives so much performance to the GPU that it's out of the way. I don't even have to worry about the fact that my GPU is being bottlenecked by the processor. So the Ryzen 7 3800X, if you are looking for a chip that gives you the performance you need for those high-end GPUs, this is it. It's the best game in town. And if you add in all the other technologies, Lisa, like Gen 4 and 7 nanometer, it's the only choice.
Fantastic. All right. Now, what we said about our solution is it's not just about the processor. It really is about the system. So what we want to show you next, Robert's going to help me, we're going to show you the 3800X with the new Navi Radeon RX 5700 series with X570 motherboard and with a tremendous amount of I/O capability using PCI Express Gen 4. So this is actually the world's first PCI Express Gen 4 ready gaming PC and demo. So Robert, let's show our crowd.
Absolutely. So we built 2 systems. On your left, a PCI Gen 3 system, and on your right, exclusively and uniquely from AMD, a PCI Gen 4 system. And this is running the upcoming 3D Mark PCI Express feature test, which is designed to answer the question, how much extra graphics performance can you get from PCI Gen 4 versus Gen 3? And the answer is clear, and it's large. Up to 69% more performance for graphics from having PCI Gen 4, which you can only get from AMD.
Just take a look at that bandwidth.
So we're running about 25 frames per second on the AMD system and about 14 frames per second on the Intel system. And this is just a really great demonstration of what Gen 4 can do for gamers, and you think about how that might help games in the future.
Fantastic. Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So when you take a look at the new Ryzen 7 family, 3rd gen, this is what your takeaway should be. When you look at Ryzen 3700X or 3800X, in single-threaded, we are at or better than the competition. In multi-threaded, we are significantly better than the competition. And this is the power of Zen 2, the power of our chiplet architecture, and the power of bringing that all together in the ecosystem. So that's Ryzen 7. We also have a broad ecosystem ready for our 3rd gen Ryzen. And when you look at this, I really want to thank our partners. Our partners have really brought forward over 56 new motherboards, X570s, at launch. So thank you for that. And we have 100+ motherboards that are already Ryzen ready for 3rd generation. So that's our commitment to the AM4 platform. And so all of you will have access to that broad ecosystem. Now, I do have one more thing for you this morning. Do I have one more thing? Everybody has been wondering, is AMD going to bring more than 8 cores to the 3rd gen Ryzen desktop processor family? And today, I'm very happy to say the answer is absolutely yes. AMD is pushing gaming beyond 8 cores, and today I am so proud to introduce the new AMD Ryzen 9 family. So, for the very first time, take a look at AMD Ryzen 9. Is this beautiful or what? When I showed this at CES, many on the internet wondered, because I had one core chiplet, whether we had room for the second core chiplet. And the answer is we absolutely have room, and this enables us to bring Ryzen 9 to the market. So, I love silicon. But I also love products and showing products off. So let me talk about Ryzen 9. The Ryzen 9 3900X is the absolutely first mainstream desktop processor with 12 cores and 24 threads. And what you see that's so special here is this is the no compromise product. We have 4.6 gigahertz boost, 70 megabytes of total cache, and it's all in 105 watts. And when we say no compromise, we mean that it is a phenomenal multi-threaded CPU, but it's a phenomenal gaming CPU as well. So with that, let me invite Robert back to show off the performance of our 3900X. Robert?
All right. For my last and final trick, I'm going to take socket AM4, AMD socket AM4, against Intel's HEDT socket. This is a $1,200 processor on the left versus the AMD Ryzen 9 3900X on your right. And we're running Blender, which is trusted by many content creators to evaluate 3D rendering performance. And it's just a really great content creation tool. And what you see from every box is a processing thread. And as we come to the finish, the difference is clear. We finished in about 32 seconds versus the competitor's 38 seconds. And that's about an 18% performance improvement for AMD. And we're going core to core, 12 versus 12, which means Zen 2 is simply faster.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Woo! Can I say we love to win? Take a look at what we're doing with the Ryzen 9 3900X. We have double-digit improvement in single-thread performance, significant improvement in multi-threaded performance. And take a look at the power. Our competition is at 165 watts, and we are at 105 watts. Does that look great or what? So I know it all looks great, but I know now you're wondering, how much does this cost? When am I going to be able to get 3rd Gen Ryzen? So now let's go there. At AMD, we believe in bringing the best technology to our fans and to our ecosystem, and that's the way we think about it. 3rd Gen Ryzen is amazing. When you look at the 3700X, when you look at more performance, lower power, all of that versus our competition, what we believe is the price point for an entry-level 8-core device should be $329. And when you move up to the 3800X, the ultimate 8-core 16-thread device for gamers and content creators, incredible performance, both single and multi-threaded, we also believe, again, we want as many people to have this as possible. So this will retail for $399. And finally, the Ryzen 9 family. We love this guy. We love this guy because we love that we can bring something to the market that nobody has ever done before. In 12 cores, 24 threads, you saw, Robert, we compared against our competition whose device is more than $1,100. But we believe that we want as many people as possible to have the Ryzen 9 3900X. So when this goes on sale, it will retail for $499. That's half the price. That's half the price of our competition with much, much more performance. So now you want to know when you can get this all. And when you put all this together, what you see is the AM4 platform has been amazing. Just take a look at what we have done over the last 2 years. When we started the first-gen Ryzen, we thought it was amazing. But in just a little over 2 years, we have brought the performance at the $499 price point up 32% single-threaded, double in multi-threaded performance, and increased the core count from 8 to 12 cores. At AMD, we call that innovation, and I hope you see this is what technology leadership is all about. So now you want to know when you can get third-generation Ryzen. I am very, very proud to tell you that all of these processors go on shelf on July 7th. First 7-nanometer desktop CPU on 7/7 for all of you. So with that, let me bring our Computex keynote to a close and say, first of all, we are so, so honored to be here, and I want to thank Taitra and TCA again for the opportunity for us to be at the opening keynote. It has been an incredible day. It's never been a better time to be in the high-performance computing world, and we are so, so appreciative of the support of all of our fans and all of our ecosystem partners. So to close the show, I want to invite our ecosystem partners to the stage so that we can take a picture together. Please join me. Thank you. 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 Thank you, Walter. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.